Every day, billions of people type on a keyboard. Emails, essays, TikTok captions, all built on the same 150-year-old layout, QWERTY. It's familiar, it's universal, but it's also kind of terrible. In fact, there's a keyboard layout that was scientifically designed to be faster, more comfortable, and less tiring. It's called the Dvorak Simplified Keyboard, and it could have changed how the world types. But it didn't. Because no one cared. This is the story of the Dvorak keyboard, the invention that promised efficiency, challenged the status quo, and lost to the power of habit. To understand why the Dvorak keyboard even exists, we have to start with the QWERTY keyboard, and the story of a man named Christopher Latham Sholes, a newspaper editor in the 1860s who helped invent the first commercial typewriter. Early typewriters were mechanical marvels, but also mechanical nightmares. When people typed too fast, the metal arms would jam.
To fix that, Sholes rearranged the letters to slow typists down, putting common letter pairs like TH and ER far apart. That's right, the QWERTY layout wasn't made for speed, it was made for jamming less. And somehow that compromise became the global standard for typing. When computers replaced typewriters, we kept the same layout, not because it was best, but because it was what everyone already knew. Fast forward to the 1930s. Dr. August Dvorak, a professor of education and ergonomics, was convinced he could build a better keyboard. Using data from typists and linguistic studies, Dvorak and his brother-in-law William Dealey designed a layout that placed the most common letters, like vowels and frequently used consonants, on the home row, where your fingers naturally rest. It was all about efficiency. They called it the Dvorak Simplified Keyboard. Here's what made it special. 70% of typing happens on the home row, compared to just 30% on QWERTY. Alternating hands between keystrokes increased typing rhythm and speed. Less finger travel meant less fatigue and fewer errors. In short, it was the keyboard equivalent of replacing a horse-drawn cart with a sports car. To prove his design worked, Dvorak organized speed typing tests, and the results were stunning. Students trained on Dvorak layouts were typing 20–40% faster than their QWERTY-trained peers. In 1946, a U.S. Navy study claimed that switching to Dvorak increased speed by 74% and reduced typing errors by 68%. The Navy even retrained entire typing pools to Dvorak. For a moment, it seemed like QWERTY's reign might finally end. But then, something strange happened. Nobody switched. You see, by the 1940s, QWERTY wasn't just a keyboard layout. It was a cultural standard. Millions of typewriters, typing schools, and manuals were built around it. Manufacturers didn't want to retool their machines. Employers didn't want to retrain workers. And people? They didn't want to start over. The cost of switching, even to something better, was too high. So, QWERTY survived not because it was superior, but because it was already everywhere. It's what economists call path dependence. Once a system becomes entrenched, it's nearly impossible to replace, no matter how flawed it is. By the time computers arrived in the 1970s and 80s, the battle was already over. The Dvorak keyboard was forgotten, a relic of what could have been. Over the decades, fans of Dvorak kept the dream alive. Some studies claimed it was vastly superior. Others argued the benefits were exaggerated or outdated. In the 1950s, new research suggested that early Dvorak tests were biased, often conducted by Dvorak himself. Critics said the real-world difference wasn't as dramatic. Still, for many typists who made the switch, the comfort and speed were undeniable. In the 1980s, Apple and Microsoft even added Dvorak support to their operating systems. Today, you can switch your computer or phone to Dvorak with just a few clicks. And yet, hardly anyone does. Despite being available on nearly every modern device, fewer than 0.1% of users actually type on Dvorak. Why? Because old habits die hard. The Dvorak story isn't just about keyboards. It is about how humans deal with change. Even when faced with something better,
We cling to what's familiar, because learning something new feels uncomfortable. QWERTY survived because it was good enough, and sometimes, good enough wins over perfect. The Dvorak keyboard is a symbol of innovation that came too late. Proof that the best idea doesn't always win. Today, new layouts like Colmac and Workman are emerging, offering better ergonomics for modern computing. But for most people, the QWERTY keyboard will remain the same, the fossilized foundation of our digital lives. So the next time you type, remember, your fingers are following a pattern designed not for speed or comfort, but to stop a 19th century machine from breaking. And we're still doing it, 150 years later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments if you'd ever consider switching from QWERTY. See you next time.